In this tutorial, I will show you how you as an admin in Empower version 9.2 can easily customize an agenda template and make it available for other users. Before you can customize the agenda template, you must first download it. To do this, open the library by clicking on the library button in the Empower ribbon in the Start section. The library will then open as a new window. There you can navigate to Empower elements in the navigation bar on the left. Now select the agenda template and download the desired template by clicking on Insert or by double-clicking on the template. Empower then inserts the agenda template as a slide into the current presentation. Please note that it's only possible to download one agenda template at a time and not multiple agenda templates at once. You can now modify this template. It's important that all elements on the agenda template are correctly named and assigned. To do this, each element on the agenda template slide is tagged. Such a tag is essentially a description that assigns this element to a specific function. Without such tags, the Empower Agenda tool will not be able to recognize that one text field is a page number and another one is a title. Therefore, it is important that all agenda elements are tagged correctly so that the agenda template can function properly. If an item on the agenda slide is not tagged, Empower will display an error message when uploading the new agenda template. If the same tag is used more than once in the agenda template, Empower will also display an error message. For example, to correctly tag the first element of the agenda template, select the text box for the first item of the agenda by right-clicking on the frame of the item. Then navigate to Agenda Tags in the selection menu. A list of all available tags will open from which you can select the appropriate tag for the element with the name mio_agenda_first element. This way you can then set all the elements on the agenda slide step by step. For example, the number of the element with the tag name mio_agenda_first element_number. More detailed information about the specific tags can be found here. To make sure that you don't miss any element on the agenda slide, as it may not be clearly visible at first glance, you can now use the keyboard shortcut Alt and F10 to open an overview of all the elements that are on the slide. Of course, if you have assigned the correct tag to all elements, you can also change the font type and size, colors and positioning of the elements and format them as desired. You can do this in the same way as you do when formatting a regular presentation slide. For example, you can change the font color of the first bullet point by navigating to the Edit section in the Empower ribbon and clicking on Format to open the formatting options in the Text section. Here you can then use the formatting tools to adjust the slide as usual. Now you should check whether the slide master contains, for example, an image that covers the entire slide or individual elements of the agenda template. In addition, it makes sense to check all layouts of the slide master for decorative elements that collide or are covered with the positioning of the navigation or chapter reference. To do this, we switch to the Slide Master view and leave the formatting of the agenda template. To do this, first go to View and then to the Master View section. By clicking on the Slide Master button, the Slide Master opens. The first layout slide is a title slide, on which it doesn't make sense, for example, to display a navigation or chapter reference. So now you can exclude this layout from the agenda features navigation and chapter reference. To do this, you can now use the keyboard shortcut Alt and F10 again to display all elements on the slide. Then you can select any shape by navigating to Home and pick a shape from the menu in the Drawing section. I select the Not Allowed symbol here and paste it into the layout slide. You can then move this icon to a corner because it will be hidden later anyway. You should now rename this shape. The naming follows certain rules. If you want to exclude the layout slide from the chapter reference, name the element as follows: mio_agenda_ignore_chapter_reference. Now, when a user picks this title slide for a presentation where an agenda is created with a chapter reference, no chapter reference will be inserted on the slide. You can now add another shape by copy and paste the one you added earlier, for example, and place it right next to it. You can rename this new inserted shape to mio_agenda_ignore_navigation to also disable navigation for this layout slide. Afterwards, you should hide these elements so that they do not appear visually on the slide. To ensure that the last slide of the presentation always remains this end slide, no matter how the content slides are moved within the presentation, you can also set a tag for this. This makes sense if this slide contains, for example, a disclaimer, contact informations, or the company logo in the company layout or similar. To do this, add a shape again and rename it to mio_agenda_last_slide and hide this element as well. Once you've tagged all the items correctly, customized the agenda template, and prepared the slide master for agenda usage, you will need to re-upload the agenda template. To do this, simply select the slide of the agenda template and navigate to the Start section in the Empower ribbon and open the drop-down menu by left-clicking right under the Library button. Here you click on Save, which will open a new menu. There you select Empower Elements and then Agenda. When you click Save As, the library opens. You can now change the file name and save the agenda template as a new template, or you can keep the name and overwrite the old agenda template. The file name is also displayed in the drop-down menu when selecting the agenda template for the users and should therefore be chosen wisely. If you now save the agenda template, a window opens in which you as an admin can specify different settings for the agenda template, which are then preset by default for the user. On the right side of the window, you can edit the default settings of the agenda template. For example, you can select an agenda overview slide that shows all agenda items in an overview and is inserted before the individual agenda slides. The option Divider Slides designates the individual agenda slides that are inserted between your presentation slides before a main point. If only Show Corresponding Level 1 item is activated, only the current Level 1 is displayed for sub-items. All other points on Level 1 are not visible on these pages. If Always Show Level 2 sub-items is activated, the sub-items on Level 2 are displayed on every agenda page. The same applies to the next option for the third level. At Elements, you can select a bar with chapter reference for a better overview of the content slides, or the navigation bar for direct navigation between the agenda items in presentation mode, if this function is activated in the agenda. You can also display the slide numbers for the agenda items if this function is activated at the left side at Edit Details. If Automatic Update is activated at Settings, the slide numbers, navigation, and chapter headings are automatically added or updated when new slides are inserted or copied into the presentation, or if old slides are deleted from the presentation. If the option Create Sections is activated, the presentation is automatically divided into native PowerPoint sections according to the main points of the agenda. If the agenda contains so many items that they no longer fit on a single slide, The entire agenda can either be automatically reduced in size to fit the slide or split into multiple slides so it doesn't go beyond the edge of the slide. On the left side of this window, you can make further settings before saving the agenda template. With highlights on overview, you set if the overview slide should display a highlighted item. If you set the switch to no, the overview slide will not highlight the current agenda item. If you enable editable title, users can enter an individual title for each agenda in the agenda editor. If the function is deactivated, the title that is stored in the agenda template is used. If sub-items will be highlighted is activated, this function will set that sub-items receive highlights. If sub-items will also be highlighted on the slides for main items is activated, sub-items will also be highlighted on slides for main items. If you activate no highlights for main and sub-items, the main items will not be highlighted if the sub-items are highlighted. The function agenda items will be displayed in two columns can be used to create a two-column agenda. To use this, a special template must be created first. You can also activate the function only the decoration of the currently highlighted agenda point will be displayed, all others will be hidden. In the format string fields, the format of the bullets for the agenda items per level can be defined. By default, Arabic numbers are displayed without a period, for example 1, 2, 2.1, 2.2, and so on. If you want to set a period, you can use %, 1%, dot. Alternatively, you can use the following formulas. lowercase a% for lowercase letters, capital A% for uppercase letters, lowercase I% for lowercase Roman numerals, capital I% for uppercase Roman numerals. Once you have made all the settings in this window, you can save the agenda template by clicking on the OK button and make it available for the users. Feel free to test the function yourself and save valuable time. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact us.